Welcome to CKLA Unit 3, Lesson 13. Today we are going to read one-syllable words. We're going to work on two-syllable words with the I sound, and we are going to work in small groups. Now, if you're a distance learner, you are going to be working on independent reading or reading aloud with someone at home. I'm going to ask you to repeat the word. So some of the words, you're going to help me read them. Then I will ask for the vowel sound. Now, instead of putting it in each tree, you're going to tell me, is it a short vowel sound or is it a long vowel sound? So if it's the short A, you're going to tell me short A. If it's long A, tell me long A. And so on with your other vowel sounds. Like, for example, this word is cap. So you will read the word cap, and then we'll read it together. Cap. You'll tell me the vowel sound in the word cap. What is the vowel sound? Ah. So your spelling tree for the letter A would be the short A and the long A sound. So would this go under the short A or the long A? Good, it would go under the short A. Read the word. Coat. Good. Now, what's your vowel sound in coat? O. So would this be a short O or a long O? Good. What letters make up the O sound in coat? O-A. 10. Now look at your vowel. What is your vowel sound in 10? I. I. Is that a short I or a long I? Good. That's a short I. 10. Train. A-I says A. So is this a short or a long A? It's a long A. Okay, take a minute. Sound the word out. Qu. I. T. You don't hear the E because it's a sneaky E and makes the I say its name. So this would be a long I. Quite. Quill. Would this be I or I? Good. This is I. Quill. Be your short I. This is the IE that we have looked at, the I sound with the IE. We've looked at it all week this week. This word is pie. Would this be short or long? It would be a long I. This word is cape. Now this is your sneaky E, your magic E, and it makes the A say A, right? So this would be a long A. Okay, sound your word out. Cot. Is this a long or a short O? It's your O, your ah, right? Your vowel sound is ah. Good, that would be a short O. All right, sound your word out. The word is time. Now you've got a sneaky E or a magic E, so what's your vowel sound? I, so that would be your long I. Sound your word out. That word is oats. What is your vowel sound in oats? O. Very good. So that's your long O. That would be OA, making the O sound. Okay, this one also has an OA. Okay, this word is toad. What's your vowel sound? O. So that would go under your long O. Sound it out. J. Now what's your vowel sound in this word? Your vowel sound is A, right? Okay, so would this be a long A or a short A? Good, it would be a long A. Let's review the I sound by saying or singing the sound. Now we have learned the short I, which is I. It can be spelled I, pillow, iguana, mitten. This is our vowel I, our short vowel, which is the most frequent, like in it. Today we will learn the tricky spelling I. What spellings have you learned for the I sound? I-E as in tie. Biting, the I can say I also. Now remember, this word would have a sneaky E in it for bite. So your sneaky E can make it say I. Let's practice some two-syllable words with the spelling that we learned yesterday. Okay, look at this word. I want you to break apart your two-syllable words. Invite. Invite. You try it first on your own. Item. Item. Now remember, the I alone is going to say I. So if the syllable ends in I, it's an open syllable, and it would say I. Try it. Dinner. Dinner. Dried. Silent. Silent. Idle. Idle. Sinus. Sinus. Tonsil. Tonsil. Now this is a name, you can see because it's capitalized. Irene. Irene. Okay, now we're going to take a minute and read the big race. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to look in your packet for, it's 11.3, which is the sequencing activity with the big race. So you're going to look for 13.3, 13.4, and 11.3. And these pages are page 65, page 75, and page 77. So we're going to use all three pages to complete these activities. The first one that we're going to look at is the big race, which is page 75. Excuse me, I believe it's page 77. So if you would go ahead and find page 77 in your packet, and it is titled The Big Race. And then you may pause the video. This is the last story in this series about the swimming sisters. Now today you will get to read about the big race. Let's think about the race in which the Castro sisters will be competing against each other. Now, if you go to your Clever and you look at your CKLA, your CKLA skills section of that, when you go to your CKLA, you go to your library and look under the Kids Excel book. This is where you can find the series about the Castro sisters. Now we are looking at the big race, so you would look in your table of contents, find the big race, and then if you wanted to have them read it to you as you read along, that's one way that you could do it. Or you could find someone in your home to read the story too. But start thinking about those Castro sisters that we talked about before Christmas break. Before we start, let's look at some of our words that are going to be in our story, and let's kind of practice reading those. So first, look at your AI, your A with the AI. This word is training and weight. Now look at your A consonant E column. It's also going to say A. You've got wave, race. Now your A column, this is your short A. Castro, that's their last name. You can see it capitalized too. Now you've got an OA column. Now O and A going together in the middle of a word is going to say O. So her name is Joan. And this next word is coasting. Now your last column, you've got O consonant E. Grover and close. Okay, now let's look at some vocabulary that you're going to hear about or you're going to see as if you're going to read these words. You kind of need to know what they mean because it's going to help with your comprehension of the story. Now the first word is shot off. If the baseball player shot off the ball when he hit a home run, the ball shot off into the air. The stands, when people talk about stands, these are stands. This would be a stand over a football field or a track. Now, you're going to think about stands like if this were an Olympic-sized swimming pool, they may have stands that where people can sit in and watch as spectators. And then you've got a deck. So your deck here would be the people waiting to swim, who is on deck. Also, like in baseball, if someone's on deck, it's who's up to bat. Your deck is that resting part where people are waiting. Trailing, if someone's behind just a little bit, they're trailing behind. Sloshing, if you're drinking a drink and it's kind of coming out of the cup a little bit, maybe, like something splatters in there, it's sloshing. Like stuff's kind of shooting out. You can see water is kind of sloshing up around him as he's splashing. Now, a bad case of the nerves would be when you get really nervous about something, you can almost kind of feel it in your stomach. A bad case of the nerves would be that feeling that you get right before an athletic event or something, a first day of school, a time that would kind of make you have that feeling in your stomach from nervousness. All right, closing in. If someone's getting closer as you're competing, they're closing in. So if you read about someone closing in swimming, they're swimming and getting closer to you. Coasting, if you're coasting, it's smooth sailing. So if you're coasting down the road, it's just a smooth ride down the road. Okay, now you're going to find someone to read the big race with at home. So you could read to them. You could take turns reading. So you read a paragraph, they read a paragraph. Or you can use the story online through your Clever, your Amplify app, and you can read aloud while it's reading to you. So you can actually hear it read to you and you can read with it. It's up to you, but pause the video now and read the big race. Okay, now that you have read the big race, I want you to look for pages 75 and pages 75, which is your questions that go with the big race, and page 65. So if you look at page 65 first, you are going to number the events in order in which they happened. Now, I would use the story to help you with this. You can see that you've got 6 events. So I would use my story and I would go through and reread and skim, and I would put these in order in which they occurred in the story. Now, your first event is going to be number 1 and your last event is going to be number 6. Okay, so you can pause the video and do that now. Use the story to help you. Okay, now that you are done with your sequencing activity, look at page 75. Now, you are going to answer the questions using the story. So here again, use that text evidence. Use the story and answer the questions with the story. So you should be able to find each one of these in the passages. Now, you can skip the page number part at the bottom of each of the questions. If you're just using the workbook page to go along with it, really focus on where the answer is located. Even take a highlighter, like in number 1, who are Grover and Joan Castro. See if you can find the exact sentence in there that tells you who Joan and Grover Castro are and highlight it. So kind of like a Where's Waldo, like you're taking the highlighter and actually finding it in the passage. That's what text evidence is all about. Okay, so you're going to complete page 75 using the story, The Big Race. Now make sure on number 7, who did you expect to win the race? Make sure that you answer this in a complete sentence. So you're going to rewrite a part of the sentence and you're going to put it into a complete statement. You would start it with, I expected blank to win. So whoever you thought was going to win, you'll tell your prediction in a complete sentence. I expected blank to win. So if you thought it was going to be Kim, I expected Kim to win. Because. So when you've got your why in there, end your sentence with because. Tell why you think that person was going to win. Okay, have a great day. We're going to go over learning targets one more time. We read one-syllable words, so we practiced those one-syllable words and their vowel sounds. We read two-syllable words with the I sound, so we determined if it was I or if because of the vowel sound being open or closed. And you worked with someone at home and read the big race, so you're practicing that fluency, and then you're also completing the comprehension and sequence sheet to test your comprehension. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow in lesson 14.